Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Annalise. This is my channel where we get planty with it. So today I thought I'd do a little bit of an update video to update you guys on some plants that I've unboxed with you or purchased on this channel in the past. So today I'm going to be specifically focusing on plants that I received from Ecuagenera, specifically ones that I purchased at a pop-up that I went to in February, as well as some I received in a shipment back in January of this year. Tyson wants to say hello. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Also, quick note, I've been working on my background a little bit. It's not done, but I'm doing kind of a gallery wall thing here. So I have some art, I have some plant shelves that you guys can't see. You'll definitely be able to see all of that soon when I do my full plant room tour. I just want to get everything kind of finished and settled before I do that tour. So I still have a little ways to go, but definitely keep an eye out for that video. Anyway, let's jump into the Ecuagenera updates. Before we jump right into it, I want to give a quick shout out to Zinff. They are an eyewear brand that has glasses and sunglasses. They do both prescription eyewear as well as some fashion eyewear. As you guys probably know, I do wear glasses in real life. I can't see without them. Zinff was actually a brand that I had already tried out a few months ago. I saw them on Plant Me Ashley's channel. She has spoken about them quite a few times and I really liked her glasses. And so I purchased some from their website. They're super affordable. I don't remember the exact price that I paid, but it was definitely between maybe $30 and $40 for prescription glasses, which if you have prescription glasses, you know they're usually way more expensive than that. So I was very excited to find an affordable pair. You can also add a lot of different things, like I added blue light blocking because I work at a computer all day, so that was important. And what I think I love so much about finding glasses that are more affordable is I can actually buy a few pairs so I can switch them out depending on my outfit or my style or vibe that day. Whereas usually I'm used to only being able to have one pair of glasses at a time just because they're so expensive. So these are ones that they actually just sent me. I think they're super cute. I'll put the name of the frame style on the screen, but they're just like tortoiseshell, kind of my favorite type of glasses for just an everyday style. This pair is one of the ones I bought myself, but I wanted to show you guys. I've worn it in some other videos. It's more of a, you know, simple wire glass shape. It's gold, super cute. But they have tons of different styles. I have about, at this point, like 6 pairs. They only sent me this one, but I purchased some more because I like having different types of glasses, apparently. Anyway, I just wanted to give them a shout out. Definitely check them out if you wear glasses or if you just want to wear some glasses as an accessory. Okay, plants. Let's do it. So first we're gonna start with January 14th, 2022, when I did an unboxing on my channel of plants I ordered from Ecuagenera, one of which was a wishlist plant. Actually, kind of both are wishlist plants, but the first plant from that video is the Philodendron Lynamii. I'll show some footage, but when I first got her, I think she had about 3 leaves, looked pretty healthy, and was doing pretty well. Unfortunately, within the first month or so, the existing leaves started to decline. Now, I don't know if that's because the plant had been recently imported and was having difficulty acclimating or what, but it was kind of struggling. And then after I moved, I noticed there was some sort of pest on the Lynamii. I think it may have been thrips. I had never had thrips before, so I'm not 100% sure if it was thrips, but it was something that was not familiar to me. I know it wasn't spider mites, it wasn't mealybugs, it didn't look like scale, so I think it may have been thrips. And I was just overwhelmed because with the move, I had to pack so many plants so close together and I didn't want to risk a thrips outbreak. So I actually cut the entire plant back, which was heartbreaking, but I cut it back to the stump. And then pretty much shortly after I moved, it rewarded me with this beautiful new leaf. Now, if you don't know about the Philodendron Lynamii, the leaves come out a bright pink color, a neon pink. I'll insert a picture. You can kind of tell because the growth point here is bright pink and the leaf truly comes out that color. And then over time, it'll fade to green. So this guy seems pretty happy, living in Leca, rooted up. I'm waiting for some more leaves, but I'm sure they'll come in time. And even though it sucked to cut it back, I honestly think it was the right decision at the time because it would have been way worse to have thrips on the rest of my collection, and I think this plant will bounce back completely fine. The second plant from that shipment was an Anthurium, the Anthurium pallidiflorum. Here she is. So it originally had, I think this leaf here that had a little bit of damage, and then this leaf. This leaf actually didn't have damage. It ripped when I was moving, so I have taped it with some green tape in the back, but it had those leaves. Then this was the first leaf it put out in my care. Super beautiful. And then this is a leaf it's working on right now. It might look small right now, but it's already sized up so much just in the past week or so. It really started out as a super skinny, tiny leaf, like probably about that big. And so Like all Anthurium leaves, they start super small and end up growing pretty big. So I'm excited to see what the full size of this one is. Hopefully we size up a little bit from the last leaf. This guy's also in LECA and doing super well. You can see all those healthy green roots. So this guy is super happy. Okay, then fast forward a little bit to February 3rd of this year, and that's when I went to my second ever Ecuagenera pop-up. I only got a few plants because I knew we would be moving soon, so I didn't want to have a massive increase in my collection right before the move, but I do have a few things to show you guys today. So first up, I got this beautiful Anthurium warocqueanum. Now, let's be honest, this plant has seen better days. It definitely looked better when I first picked it up. As I think most people know, of all the Anthuriums, this one is so sensitive. It's sensitive to everything, and what really caused the majority of this damage was moving. Even though I had it, you know, in a box placed nicely so it wouldn't be jostled around, any little bump or anything that touched this plant caused damage. So this was the newest leaf that was still hardening off when we were moving, and you can see that it has quite a bit of damage on the leaf. Still beautiful, but very much showing damage. So this guy is now living in one of my greenhouse cabinets, and I mean, it's not the worst. It could be doing worse. It is definitely healthy. The roots are happy. So I'm just waiting until we get some nice new growth that'll kind of overshadow some of these less nice looking leaves. I mean, despite all of that, this leaf I think still really just looks super beautiful. Slow pan. And this guy's actually still in the original packaging that I got it in. It's in sphagnum moss in this little cup here. I have it in a little container because the cup drains out and so the container catches the water. Okay, let's keep moving. So next up is the philodendron tortum, which is this little cutie here. Now it's also in the original packaging that I got it in, still living in sphagnum moss. And this guy has been definitely taking quite a lot longer than I would have hoped to really get it moving. So it shot out a couple of these weird little baby growths like that. And there's one there. I think those were trying to be leaves and then just didn't really happen. And then earlier this week, it unfurled this leaf, which I'm pretty sure is just an immature tortum leaf. It doesn't have that classic tortum shape yet, like you see in some of these other leaves. Side note, all of these leaves that are kind of damaged, they were damaged when I got the plant, so that is not new, but it did at least put out a leaf, which is exciting because it didn't do that for months. And I'm hoping that the next leaf it puts out will kind of have more of the tortum shape. We'll see, but still hopeful about this plant. Hopefully I can update you guys in another couple months with a little bit more excitement about this plant. Okay, and then the last plant from Ecuagenera is actually one that I didn't show in my video because I didn't pick it up at the actual pop-up, but I regretted not getting it at the pop-up. And the next day I went to a planting event and someone was basically selling one that they had gotten at the pop-up. And so I bought it from them. I count that one pretty much as an Ecuagenera plant because it was sold at the pop-up the day before. So even though I didn't show it in that video, I'm gonna show it to you guys now, and that is the Anthurium veitchii. Here she is. She also has a little bit of damage, I think from moving and whatnot, but most excitingly, we have a new leaf coming. So these leaves come out this really beautiful brownish color, and you can tell how small it is, and I'm sure it's gonna size up quite a bit. Definitely give me a follow on Instagram if you don't already, because I'll definitely post some updates about how this leaf looks and how big it gets. I think the last one it put out in my care was this one. When I originally got it, it had 3 leaves, but 1 came off. But I think it put out this leaf, so I'm hoping the new leaf is gonna be a little bit bigger than that. This guy is also in LECA and very happy, you can see by those roots. I typically like having my Anthurium in LECA because I found that they just do really well in that, and I don't have to worry about making sure that they're receiving enough water or anything. So if you're struggling with Anthurium, maybe try them in LECA. I should probably move my Warrock to LECA at some point, but I'm not ready. That plant is like too much of a mess. I'm trying to just let it be, let it relax so it can do well with this next leaf. Anyway, I did want to update you guys on one more plant. Now this is not an Ecuagenera plant, but somebody recently commented on an old video I did asking for an update, so I thought I'd throw it in here while we're talking plant updates, and that is my philodendron Gloriosum. If you guys remember a few months back, I think maybe January, I did a video that was talking about rescuing my dying philodendron Gloriosum. My Gloriosum had been doing great, and then all of a sudden just started going really downhill, losing leaves, so I chopped the whole thing up, and I wanted to show you guys where we are today about 5-ish months later. Okay, so I ended up cutting the Gloriosum into 3 pieces. Actually, I think 4, but I'll explain that later. So here is one of the pieces. It's in a perlite and sphagnum mix. As you can tell, it has a lot of algae on the outside, but that's totally fine. And here it is. It has 3 leaves. The first couple leaves came out a little bit wonky, but that's kind of to be expected sometimes when you're growing a plant back from a chunk or from a cutting. I think this was a single leaf cutting, and I think the original leaf came off at some point. I don't really remember exactly, but here's the newest leaf. You can tell this leaf is newer because when they first come out, their veining is quite pink. I mean, you can see on the back of the leaf too, the veining is really pink as compared to this guy where the veining has faded down to white. So this is the newest leaf. I think it's still hardening off, so maybe it'll get a little bit bigger, but this plant is doing super well. It's super happy. Gloriosum are a crawling plant. They're a terrestrial philodendron, so I'm gonna have to transfer it into a crawling type pot soon. But honestly, I'm nervous about that because last time when I transferred my Gloriosum to a crawling pot, that's when it started going downhill. I'm sure that won't happen again, but I'm nervous. Anyway, that was one of the cuttings. Here was another cutting. This guy has 2 leaves. It was taking a little bit longer to take off, but honestly looks very healthy. Still really beautiful, and this guy is just living in perlite. I had a third cutting that also put out a couple leaves, but I ended up selling that because someone was looking for a Gloriosum, so I sold them that one, so I don't have any pictures of that. And then the reason I think there's a fourth is I was looking through one of my prop boxes the other day, and as you guys know, when I make prop boxes, I'll just be throwing random chunks in there now and again. Whenever like I cut something and there's a chunk, I'll just throw it into prop box and I don't label them, which is probably not the best, but honestly it's kind of fun because when the plant sprouts, you're like, oh my God, what is this? And wait, that makes me think of the meme. What is that? Cardi B.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
I was opening one of my prop boxes the other day and I saw what looked like a little Gloriosum leaf. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's about to put out a second leaf, so I'll be able to tell a little bit more, but I think one of my random chunks was a Gloriosum, so that's exciting. So the Gloriosum is doing well. It has survived, it has come back to life. I think my plan is down the road to repot it when it's ready. And since they need to be in a long planter, I think I want to put one on each side and have them crawl towards each other. I don't know if that'll work. We'll see, but that's kind of my vision. So it's like more of a full planter. We'll see. I will keep you guys updated on that. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. Also, if there are any other plants that I've talked about in the past that you specifically want an update on, just let me know in a comment and I'll make sure to include it in an upcoming video. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.